Alrighty, folks, we're now 3-0 in our last three Major League Baseball tier package plays on my premium page. We had the Rays run line yesterday on Sunday, and they took care of Atlanta by the final of 8-3. And the good news is I've got another Major League Baseball tier membership play going out for Monday. That play's already posted and ready for access in the post section. And if you sign up for that membership, you're going to get access to that package every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships during that time frame, absolutely free. Going to be included with your membership. Of course, if you want access to all of my premium selections, you may want to think about signing up for my full access, all-inclusive Gold Club membership. Gold Club members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to my free pick video here today for Monday, April 14th, 2025. Happy Monday to you. Hopefully you had a great weekend. Congratulations to Rory McIlroy. Grand Slam, finally got that Masters win under his belt. He's a Grand Slam winner. Absolute outpour of emotion. Certainly an interesting final round, man. Had the lead. Rose came back. Rory missed the putt. Could have sealed the deal. And then takes care of business in the playoff hole. And wow, just a great outpouring of emotion. Good for the sport. Of course, folks, if you don't need access to all of my premium plays, but maybe you could use like one a day, you could think about signing up for my daily best play. It costs just 6 cents a day for 30 days worth of access. And folks, I currently have over 2,350 members. We're signed up and active on my premium page right now. And with that, folks, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're actually going to start off with this Red Sox-Rays game. That'll be a 7:05 Eastern first pitch. Tampa Bay's minus $1.25, totals 8.5. Shane Boss for Tampa Bay, Tanner Houck for Boston. And even though Houck's been off to a bit of a rough start, this Boston lineup has had little problems getting base runners for the most part. They're a top 5 hit-producing lineup despite their recent lack of run support. Wilyer Abreu, he's got an OPS in the thousands, double-digit RBI. And Alex Bregman, he's got a bunch of ribbies himself, on-base percentage in the 300s. They're facing a Tampa team who's had a rough couple of weeks, struggling a bit at the plate. The Rays are actually in the bottom 5 in the league in walks per game in the box. I do like this price point here for Boston. Give me the Red Sox plus 105. Next game, Royals-Yankees, 7:05 East. New York's minus $1.25, totals 8.5. Carlos Carrasco for New York, Seth Lugo for Kansas City. Now, Lugo's got an ERA in the low 3s, 1.26 whip. And this Kansas City pitching staff's done a pretty good job thus far. They're in the top 10 in fewest runs allowed. And they're facing a Yankee lineup who definitely swings and misses an awful lot. They're in the bottom 3 in strikeouts per game at the plate. Of course, on the hill, the Bombers have certainly had control issues. They're walking a handful of batters per game. They're allowing a handful of runs per contest as well. Of course, starting pitcher Carlos Carrasco, he's been no exception to that. Carrasco's got an ERA of 7.71, 1.63 whip. I think the Royals can get all over Carrasco and the bullpen. I like KC plus 105. Next matchup, Braves, Blue Jays, 7:07 Eastern first pitch. Atlanta's minus $1.15, totals 8.5. Grant Holmes for Atlanta, Easton Lucas for Toronto. And Lucas is yet to allow an earned run through a couple of appearances. He's 2-0 already with a .68 whip. Of course, the Blue Jays have a winning record at home thus far, and they're nearly in the top 5 in the league in hits per game. George Springer with an OPS in the thousands, double-digit RBI for him. And Bo Bichette's batting in the 300s himself, well over 20 total bases thus far. And they're going to take on Grant Holmes on the mound for Atlanta. ERA in the 4s, 1.67 whip. course, at the dish, the Braves just haven't done a good enough job producing runs. They're in the bottom 3 in runs per game. Really don't know how else to say it. They're just not scoring a bunch. Pretty good price point for Toronto backers here. Nearly even money to win it. I like Toronto minus 105. Next game, Tigers Brewers, 7:40 p.m. East. Detroit's minus $1.55, total 7. Tarek Skubal for Detroit, Tyler Alexander for Milwaukee. And despite a good start to the year for Alexander, there's a possibility his bullpen could let him down because the Brewers as a whole, they're in the bottom 5 in runs allowed per contest. And they're facing a Detroit team who's got little problems getting base runners. Top 5 in walks per game, top 3 in hits. Spencer Torkelson's hitting in the 300s, OPS in the thousands. And Zach McKinstry's gotten on-base percentage in the 400s himself. I think if the Tigers can get to the bullpen early, they can certainly do some damage. I like Detroit, minus $1.55. Next game, Mets Twins, 7:40 p.m. East. Both clubs are minus $1.10, totals 8. Joe Ryan for Minnesota, Clay Holmes for New York. Now, Holmes has 20 strikeouts in 14-plus innings, and the Mets have been incredibly tough to hit against. Going into Sunday, the Mets allowed fewer runs a game than any other pitching staff. They're facing a Milwaukee lineup who really doesn't walk a whole lot, bottom 10 in hits. And aside from, being a handful of games below 500 already, they also have a losing record on their own field. I think the Mets can outduel here on the mound here. Give me the Mets minus $1.10. Next matchup, Astros Cardinals, 7:45 East. Houston's minus $1.20, total 7.5. Framer Valdez for Houston, Sonny Gray for St. Louis. And despite a 2-0 start for Gray, he does come into today's outing with an ERA of 4.50. These Cardinals pitchers, they've certainly hurt this team's chances to win. They're in the bottom 3 in runs allowed per contest. They have to face guys like Jose Altuve, who's hitting in the 300s for the Astros. Isaac Paredes with an on-base percentage nearly in the 400s. But even if for some reason, the bats go cold for Houston, they've got a good one in Framber Valdez on the hill. 2.50 ERA for the lefty, 21 strikeouts, and a sub-1 whip. I like the Astros in this spot. Give me Houston minus $1.20. Next ballgame, Cubs, Padres, 9:40 p.m. East. San Diego's $1.70, total 7.5. Dylan Cease for San Diego, Jameson Taillon for Chicago. Now, the Cubs have been pounding the baseball thus far. They're amongst the league leaders in runs and hits. Kyle Tucker's got a handful of homers, club leader in RBI. And Seiya Suzuki's got an OPS in the 900s. And they're going to face Dylan Cease, who's certainly run into some problems. The righty's got an ERA close to 8, along with a 1.57 whip. I think the Cubbies continue to score runs in this one. Give me Chicago plus 1.5. All right, next matchup, Rockies-Dodgers, 10:10 Eastern first pitch. The Dodgers are minus 335, totals 8.5. Dustin May for Los Angeles, Antonio Senzatella for Colorado. Now, Senzi's 0-2 with an ERA in the 5s. And this Rockies pitching staff allows more hits a game than any other team. But it ain't just pitching that's hurt these guys. The Rockies strike out double-digit times a game at the dish, dead last in run production. And they're going to face Dustin May, who's looked pretty good in, 11 innings of work. He's got a sub-1 ERA, 0.91 whip. This Dodger pitching staff is currently in the top 10 in fewest hits allowed. Listen, bottom line is I have no good reason to back the Rockies in this one. I don't mind laying the 1.5. Give me the Dodgers minus 1.5. All right, NHL action. Starting off with the Blackhawks at the Canadiens, 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop. Montreal is minus 260, total 6. Sam Montembeault for the Habs. Spencer Knight for Chicago. Of course, defensively, the Blackhawks allow over 30 pucks on net a game. Bottom 5 in goals allowed. And on the offensive end, well, they're averaging fewer shots on goal a game than any other club. And they're going to face Sam Montembeault, who's got 30 wins in the crease and a save percentage in the 900s. Now, the Canadians have also been decent on the penalty kill. They're 6th in fewest power play goals allowed at home. I like the Canadians, minus 1.5. Next game, Stars, Red Wings, 7 o'clock East. Dallas is $1.30, total 6. Jake Ottinger for the Stars, Cam Talbot for Detroit. And the Red Wings have certainly had their hands full with Dallas in recent gatherings. Losers of 9 out of their last 10 head-to-head meetings. Bottom 10 goal-scoring team this season. And they're facing a Dallas club who's been tough to score goals against. Top 3 in fewest goals allowed per game. Defenseman Asa Lindell's a plus 35. Jake Ottinger, 36 and 16 with a save percentage of .912. I like the Stars, minus $1.30. Next matchup, Rangers, Panthers, 7 o'clock East. Florida's $1.55, totals 5.5. Sergei Bobrovsky for the Panthers, Igor Shesterkin for New York. Now, Shesty's got a handful of shutouts on the year, save percentage in the 900s. And on the offensive end, the Rangers have done a nice job away from home. They're nearly in the top 5 in goals per game in their travels. Artemi Panarin's got 37 goals on the year, team leader in assists and points as well. And Adam Fox has 51 assists on the year. He's a plus 7 when he's on the ice. And for some reason, the Panthers on the other side have had a tough time on the penalty kill at home. They're in the bottom 5 in power play goals allowed on their own ice. And more recently, the Panthers took the outright loss in 5 out of their last 8. I like the Rangers, plus 1.5. Next matchup, Hockey Club, Predators, 8 o'clock East. Utah's minus $1.30, total 6. Karel Vejmelka for the Hockey Club, UC Saros for Nashville. Saros is just 19 and 30 on the year, save percentage of .895. And no real surprise, Nashville's in the bottom 10 in goals allowed per game. And they're facing a Utah team who's done a nice job on the power play. They're in the top 10 in power play goals per contest. Clayton Keller leads the roster in goals, assists, and points. Dylan Guenther's tied for the club lead in goals with Keller. Of course, as a team, the Hockey Club did get the W in 5 out of their last 7. I like Utah, minus $1.30. Next game, Kings, Oilers, 10 o'clock Eastern puck drop. Edmonton's minus $1.15, total 5.5. Calvin Pickard for Edmonton, Darcy Kemper for Los Angeles. And even though Kemper's been outstanding in the crease this year, the Kings have struggled a bit offensively away from home. They're a bottom 10 goal-scoring team on the road. And in their last 10 gatherings with Edmonton, they averaged only 2.3 goals a game. They actually took the loss in all of those contests except for one. And they're facing an Edmonton squad who allows just 27 pucks on net a game. And speaking of shots on goal, Edmonton's averaging more pucks on net a game than any other team. Leon Draisaitl has 106 points on the year, league leader in goals. And Connor McDavid, he's got 71 assists, 6th in the entire league in points. I like Edmonton, minus $1.15. Next contest, Sharks, Canucks, 10 o'clock East. Vancouver's the $3 favorite, totals 5.5. Kevin Lankinen for Vancouver, Alex Gorgiev for San Jose. Of course, as a team, the Sharks have done a nice job covering the puck line. They covered in 6 out of their last 10, 23 and 16 against the number in all of their road games. They're facing a Vancouver squad who's got a losing record against the puck line at home this year. Tough time getting, pucks on net. As a matter of fact, the Canucks are averaging just 24 shots on goal a game at home. That's actually a league worst. Give me San Jose plus 1.5. All right, Going back into some Major League Baseball action, going to take a look at some totals. Nationals Pirates, 6:40 Eastern first pitch. Pittsburgh's -210, total 7.5. Paul Skeens for the Pirates, Brad Lord for Washington. Now, the Nats saw overs in 7 out of their last 10. They're a top 10 run producing team. James Wood has a handful of homers, 977 OPS. And Keibert Ruiz, he's hitting .373 with a double-digit RBI. They're facing a Pittsburgh squad who saw 5 out of their last 6 at PNC Park get over the line themselves. And despite their struggles at the plate, they do walk a handful of times a game. Joey Bart's got an on-base percentage of .370. O'Neal Cruz has double-digit walks on the year himself. I like the over 7.5. Next matchup should be a good series. Giants-Phillies, 6:45 East. Philadelphia's a $1.20, totals 8.5. Taijuan Walker for Philadelphia. Landon Rupp for San Francisco. Now, Rupp's got a dozen strikeouts and 10 innings of work, ERA of .360. And I'll tell you, these Giant pitchers have been pretty dominant on the road. They're allowing fewer runs a game away from home than any other staff besides one. They're going to face a seemingly new and improved Taijuan Walker, who's yet to allow an earned run this year. Walker's currently got a 1.13 whip, certainly a stark contrast from last season. I'll tell you what, these Phillies pitchers as a whole, they're in the top 3 in fewest runs allowed themselves. 5 out of Phillies' last 6 at the bank stayed under the total. I like the under 9. I said it was 8.5, but it's actually 9. Give me the under 9. All right, next game, Red Sox-Rays, 7:05 East. Tampa Bay is -1.25, totals 8.5. Shane Boss for Tampa Bay, Tanner Houck for Boston. The Red Sox with overs in 6 out of their last 10. Top 5 in hits per game. Meanwhile, Tampa on the other side, they're currently 7th in the league in hits per contest themselves. Cam Meisner hits .361, OPS in the thousands. And Jose Caballero hits .333 with an OPS of .1010. Tampa went 4-3 to the over in their last 7 at home. I like the over 8.5. Next matchup, Royals-Yankees, 7:05 East. New York's -1.25, totals 8.5. Carlos Carrasco for New York, Seth Lugo for Kansas City. Now, the Royals saw 2 out of their last 3 road games get over the total. Not really striking out a whole lot at the plate. This KC lineup's actually in the top 10 in fewest strikeouts per 9. Bobby Witt Jr. hits .305. Vinny Pasquantino with double-digit RBI. They're facing a Yankee club who saw overs in 7 out of their last 10. They've actually gone 6-2 to the over this year in the Bronx. Aaron Judge has 6 home runs, 20 RBI. That's a league best. And Trent Grisham's hitting .344 with an OPS in the thousands. I like the over 8.5. Next matchup, Tigers-Brewers, 7:40 p.m. East. Detroit's -1.55, total 7. Tarek Skubal for the Tigers, Tyler Alexander for Milwaukee. And both teams with little problems at the plate. Milwaukee's a top 5 run-producing team. Jackson Chourio with 5 homers, 17 RBI. Of course, teammate Bryce Terang's hitting .333 with double-digit ribbies. And they're facing a Detroit squad who saw overs in 5 out of their last 8 on the road. They're in the top 3 in hits per game. Give me the over 7 runs. Next contest, Mets-Twins, 7:40 p.m. East. Both clubs are -110, pretty much a coin flip, totals 8. Joe Ryan for Minnesota, Clay Holmes for New York. Now, Holmes has 20 strikeouts and just 14-plus innings. The Mets have been tough to hit against. New York allows fewer runs per game than any other pitching staff. And Minnesota on the other side, well, they're a bottom 10 run scoring team, bottom 10 in hits per game. Twins games went 8-2 to the under in their last 10. New York 7-3 to the under in their last 10 themselves. I like the under 8. Next contest, Astros-Cardinals, 7:45 East. Houston's a $1.20, total 7.5. Framer Valdez for Houston. Sonny Gray for St. Louis. Now the Cards with overs in 7 out of their last 10. Plenty of guys who can get the bat on the ball. The Cards are averaging double-digit hits a game, best in Major League Baseball. Brendan Donovan hits .350, OPS in the 900s. And Ivan Herrera's got a handful of homers, double-digit RBI. They're facing a Houston team who saw overs in 4 out of their last 6 road games. They certainly walk a lot at the dish. Isaac Paredes with an on-base percentage of .382. Jose Altuve's hitting .302. I like the over 7.5. Next matchup, another one should be a good series. Cubs, Padres, 9:40 p.m. East. San Diego's $1.70, total 7.5. Dylan Cease for San Diego. Jameson Taillon for Chicago. And both pitchers with their fair share of runs allowed. Taillon's got an ERA of 6.06. Dylan Cease with an ERA close to 8. Of course, at the plate, the Pods are a top 3 hit-producing team. Chicago averaging more runs a game than any other lineup. I like the over 7.5. All right, Rockies, Dodgers, 10:10 Eastern first pitch. The Dodgers are minus .335, totals 8.5. Dustin May for Los Angeles, Antonio Senzatella for Colorado. Now, the Rockies saw 3 out of their last 4 road games stay under the total. 64% to the under for the entire year. This Colorado lineup strikes out double-digit times a game, dead last in runs per contest. They're facing Dustin May, who's got an ERA of .82. He also has a sub-1 whip. I have no reason to believe Colorado's going to score a lot of runs in this one. I like the under 8.5. All right, hockey totals. Going to revisit that Blackhawks-Canadiens matchup, 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop. Montreal's minus .260, total 6. Sam Montembeault for the Habs. Spencer Knight for Chicago. Chicago's allowing more goals a game than any other team besides one. Bottom 3 in goals allowed. I think I meant to say they're allowing more shots on goal than any other team besides one. Bottom 3 in goals allowed. 7 out of the Blackhawks' last 10 outings did get over the total. Meanwhile, Montreal, with their fair share of struggles on D themselves, they're allowing nearly 30 pucks on net a game. Bottom 10 in goals allowed. I like the over 6. All right, next matchup, Stars, Red Wings, 7 o'clock East. Dallas is $1.30, total 6. Jake Ottinger for the Stars. Cam Talbot for Detroit. Now, Talbot's got 20 wins in the net, goals against average of .288. Talbot's also got a save percentage of .903. Of course, as a team, Detroit saw unders in 6 out of their last 10. They're facing a Dallas club who's in the top 3 in fewest goals allowed. Now, 3 out of their last 5 on the road did stay under the number. I like the under 6.5. All right, next game, Rangers, Panthers, 7 o'clock East. Florida's minus $1.55, totals 5.5. Sergei Bobrovsky for the Panthers, Igor Shesterkin for New York. Shesterkin's just 26 and 29 in the net, facing over 31 pucks on net a game on the road. Now, New York games went 8-2 to the over in their last 10. They're facing a Panther team who averages more shots on goal a game at home than any other club in the league. Sam Reinhart with 37 goals, 79 points. Alex Barkov leads the roster in assists. I like the over 5.5. Next game, Hockey Club, Predators, 8 o'clock Eastern puck drop. Utah's minus $1.30, total 6. Karel Vejmelka for the Hockey Club. UC Saros for Nashville. Now, Saros is just 19 and 30 between the pipes, save percentage of .895. They're facing a Utah team who saw overs in 3 out of their last 4 road games. 60% to the over in their last 10 at any location. I like the over 6. Next matchup, Kings, Oilers, 10 o'clock East. Edmonton's minus $1.15, totals 5.5. Calvin Pickard for Edmonton, Darcy Kemper for Los Angeles. And the Kings have gotten plenty of pucks on net in recent meetings with the Oilers. They're averaging 31 shots on goal a game in their last 10 meetings with Edmonton. So if you're into historical trends, certainly want to think about that one there. Now, the Kings are also in the top 10 in third period scoring. They're facing an Edmonton squad who saw overs in 3 out of their last 5 at home. They get over 32 pucks on net a game. I like the over 5.5. Next matchup, Sharks, Canucks, 10 o'clock East. Vancouver's the $3 favorite, total 5.5. Kevin Lankinen for Vancouver, Alex Georgiev for San Jose. Georgiev's got a goals against average in the high 3s, save percentage of .872. No real surprise, the Sharks allow more goals a game than any other team. Now, 6 out of their last 10 contests did get over the total. Meanwhile, Vancouver's had their struggles on defense themselves. Bottom 10 in goals allowed at home. And out of their last 10 gatherings with the Sharks, the over cashed in 70% of those meetings. So, once again, if you're into historical trends, plenty of overs to go around. I like the over 5.5. With that, folks, now it's time for our quick pick recap. I like the Red Sox plus 105, Royals plus 105, Toronto minus 105, Detroit minus $1.55, Mets minus $1.10, Astros minus $1.20, Cubs plus 1.5, Dodgers minus 1.5. NHL, Montreal minus 1.5, Stars minus $1.30, Rangers plus 1.5, Hockey Club minus $1.30, Oilers minus $1.15, Sharks plus 1.5. Totals over 7.5 in that Nationals-Pirates game. Under 9 Giants, Phillies. Sorry, put that in wrong. Over 8.5 Red Sox, Rays. Over 8.5 Royals, Yankees. Over 7 Detroit, Milwaukee. Under 8 Mets, Twins. Over 7.5 Astros, Cardinals. Over 7.5 Cubs, Padres. Under 8.5 Rockies, Dodgers. NHL totals over 6 Blackhawks, Canadians. Under 6.5 Stars, Red Wings. Over 5.5 Rangers, Panthers. Over 6 Utah, Nashville. Over 5.5 Kings, Oilers. And give me the over 5.5 in that Sharks, Canucks matchup. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. And if you do end up getting a membership here today on my premium page, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships during that time frame, absolutely free. Going to be included with your membership. That's why I always tell folks, that Gold Club package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. Gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. But most importantly, folks, gotta thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that, folks, happy Monday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page.